Every American faction from the very beginning of American history has claimed that God is on our side. And this led to this idea called American exceptionalism. America actually believes that it was put here on earth by God to show other people how they should be, that this is a better country, it's an exceptional country. So listen to any American politician, and if he wants to get elected, there's one thing he has to say. First of all, he believes in God. An atheist could not be an American president. And secondly, he has to say that this is the greatest country on earth. And that spirit still animates America. We are going to show the rest of the world how to be civilized. That is the heartbeat of American foreign policy. But it also shapes policy in other ways. For instance, America's support for the State of Israel, which has been unequivocal, goes back to a theological concept that Israel is the chosen people, that Arabs are evil because they are opposing the chosen people of God. And so if you look at the history of the State of Israel, its roots are in two things. Obviously in Zionism, which came out of the basically European 19th century culture. And then you have the support in the United States, which is not Zionist, it's evangelical Christian. And of course there's an irony to that. And that is, evangelical theology says that Jews are all going to die and go to hell. Jesus will come back and kill all but 144,000 of them. So don't confuse Christian Zionism with being pro-Jewish. It's pro the apocalypse.
And now, Pastor John Hagee's sermon, Can America Survive a Nuclear Iran?
According to the prophet Ezekiel, Russia and Iran will form a coalition in the last days in an attempt to conquer Israel. Iran and Russia are going to be wiped out. It's not Israel that gets destroyed, it's the enemies of Israel that get destroyed. Get that message early on.
Are you ready for the return of the Lord Jesus Christ? The greatest prophecy in the Bible is not far from fulfillment.
It's called by the snappy name premillennial dispensationalism. It's probably the dominant belief among American evangelicals, though not the only one. It basically holds that we're now in the end times. It holds that there will be a third world war in the Middle East, and that this is not really something to be avoided at all costs, because it's actually the gateway to paradise. It's actually a necessity.
George W. Bush believed that. He was an evangelical Christian and sincere. It affected his policy very directly. It's why he attacked Iraq. It had nothing to do with 9/11. It had directly to do with the idea that Iraq was dangerous to the State of Israel as he understood it.
So for the Israeli right, fine, if these Christians want to help us, you know, they think Jesus is going to come back, but we know he's not, so we're not worried. You know, and they, meanwhile, are more than happy to help the Israeli right with their goal of kind of creating a greater Israel. And if that results in the fiery immolation of most Jews who haven't accepted Jesus Christ, well, that's all part of the plan.
And so whether it's Israel or, for instance, now the EU, there's an entire movement of churches in America that says the EU is now going to be where the Antichrist comes from, and the EU will be attacking Israel with Russia. I mean, it sounds so crazy that I hardly want to talk about it because it makes me sound crazy because it's so crazy, but I'm not crazy. This is what some people really believe, and there are millions of them.